Man, what's good, YouTube family? All right, I know y'all tired of seeing my face today, but this is a part two on the red flags with the whole, with the energy, and being able to notice the red flags in these relationships using energy. So let's go to this interesting one. This is a good one. Hang on, this is gonna be a long one, so I'm gonna let her. This is gonna be a long one. This is gonna be a long one. This is gonna be a long one. Nah, it ain't that long. Nah, it's a good minute.
All right, y'all. Let me tell y'all a quick story that I've been holding in the vault. Okay, like let me tell you something about New York men. First of all, this story it just gave me the ick. Like men are really like they're like ill, literally.
Let's see how she started this off. See how she started this off. And again, this is all about energy. This is all about seeing energy, reading vibes, and being able to see people for exactly who they are. That's it. So pay attention to how she presents. Pay attention to her energy and the vibes that she's giving off, and then pay attention to the story.
Men will really try to humble you because they know that you are a particular woman or they know you know who you are. Like they really be trying to, especially these New York men. Let me tell you guys, another time I had like a
Really pay attention.
horrible dating experience real quick before I go back to break. I mean off break. I had this guy in my DMs for weeks. Writing me. Never wrote back. So one day he wrote me, he was like, what shoe size you wear? So I'm not gonna lie. That got my attention. Bitch, what you mean what shoe size I wear?
Bingo. First red flag. So fellas. Usually it's like and you're gonna see where this is going, but fellas, you already know it's a red flag, and I'm pretty sure he knew that there was a red flag, which is why the situation is gonna end up where it ended up. But ladies, if you've been ignoring the dude for forever, and it's just like he asks you about something, gonna buy you something, probably know you about to get hit with an okie doke because you was being boozy. You were being boozy. I'm gonna be honest. You're being boozy, and he's gonna hit you with an okie doke. And the okie doke is probably it's a deserved okie doke because you were being boozy. Like if you wasn't gonna respond to him, just don't respond. It shouldn't be him offering to give you something that makes you want to respond. If that's the case, you should have responded to the messages before, But because it was that, you're opening up a can of worms for yourself. So this is all about reading vibes, and she's giving off some bad vibes already. It's really some terribly bad vibes.
What you got for me? So I wrote him. I was like, this my shoe size. I was like, what, are you asking me because you bored or you really trying to buy me something? He like, oh, I'm trying to buy you something. So I'm like, okay. He said, as a matter of fact, I really want to take you shopping. Like, why not? You're beautiful. Like, so I wrote him back. I was like, you capping. He like, what? He's like, we can go tomorrow. Like, what are you talking about? So I'm like, okay. Hang up on you. Call my friend. So I called my friend. I was like, yeah, this guy's over here. Like, he want to take me shopping. Like, I was like, I don't know. Like, like, I've never encountered something like that. Like, this is like, I don't know. I feel like it's too good to be true. She's like, all right, boom. So this is what we're going to do. She was like, I'm coming to your neighborhood. She was like, we're going to go into the city together, right? She was like, I'm going to act like a sales associate at the store, or I'm gonna act like, it's a coincidence that we both in the same room. So she was like, when he's there with you, after you get a few of your pieces or whatever, you can leave. Like, because we don't know if this man is crazy or not, or whatever. So she's just like, nah, we going there together.
So basically, she was just gonna use this nigga for his whatever he was offering. If it was legit, she was just gonna use him for it. So the red flag continues to have more red flags.
Alright, cool. The day for me to meet with him in the store, he was like, we're going to Soho and Bergdorf, right? So, no, not Bergdorf, Saks. So he's like, oh, we're gonna go to Saks. We're gonna go to Soho. I'm like, okay, cool. So he like, meet me in Saks. So the day come for us to go out to do the shopping. It don't happen. Something happened on his end. So I'm like, oh, I'm calling his bluff. I'm like, oh, this man is just full of shit at this point. Blah, blah, blah. Nah. 2 weeks go by. He texts me. He's like, yo, when are we doing this? Like, so now I'm like, maybe he's not bullshitting because I never brought it up or anything like that. I literally left it as what it was. Like, oh, you're just full of shit. You're BSing. So he's like, nah, like, let's go. So I was like, okay, like, I'm free this day, I'm free on Sunday, blah, blah, blah. He's like, all right, cool, bet, let's go. In the morning, text him, good morning. He like, well, I'm getting up right now. He's like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm getting myself ready to, like, go meet you. He's like, bet. So this time, I didn't tell my friend. The reason why I didn't tell my friend was because, like, I just felt like it was too good to be true. And I'm also telling myself, like, Mona, you're in a public place. What's the worst thing that could happen to you? That you actually do go shopping with this man. And you might go to lunch or whatever and call it a day. Like, you'll be good. My friends have my location, whatever. So I go into the city. Keep in mind, I did this early in the morning just so I can go take care of my other errands. I had appointments that day just so, like, I didn't, like, know what the circumstances were going to be with this man. Bitch, did they take a motherfucking turn, for real. So he calls me. He's like, yo, where you at? I was like, I'm 20 minutes out. He like, I bet, cool, I'm about to leave. I'm like, okay. But from my end, I can hear cars. I think he was driving. I hear cars. I pay attention to stuff like that, right? So I get there. He told me his ETA. So I wrote him. I was like, hey, I'm here. He goes, I'm on the 3rd floor. I'm like, okay. I go to the 3rd floor. He goes to the 3rd floor. It's women's. So I'm thinking, oh, he's already on the floor to see maybe what store we going to. I get to the 3rd floor. I don't see no one. So I'm like, okay. I call him. He don't answer the phone. So I'm like, okay. Mind you, I had to pee. So I went back downstairs. I was like, you know what? Let me go use the bathroom. I'm going to finish using the bathroom, and I'll figure out where he's at. If anything, he'll come get me at the door. Because, bitch, I'm not about to be waiting on no floor. And you know how these stores are already? Like, when you there as a brown sister, they don't matter how much money you got or what you look like. They always think you're sketchy. They probably think you up to no good. That's how these people are. Like, they profile you.
Now, forgive me if I'm mistaken, but I feel like the same way she's talking about being profiled, she was profiling dude in her DMs. I could be mistaken. This could be a little bit of a stretch or a reach, but I feel like it. And she kind of didn't give him a shot until he was offering to buy him something. So did she see the messages and just was deleted or ignoring them and then deleted them, or like what? Did she was semi-profiling? I don't know. I could be mistaken, but let's continue.
I'm a sales associate myself. I've seen my colleagues do it to other people that look like me. That's what they do in the designer stores. They don't care. So I'm like, okay, let me move from here. Let me go pee. I go downstairs and pee. He texts me. He's like, I'm by men's coat. I was like, it's impossible that you're by men's coat because the floor I was on was strictly women. I was like, you're on this floor. He goes, yeah. So I'm like, okay. So I get out the elevator. I'm on the men's floor now. I'm looking. I still don't see nobody. I'm figuring, like, if you're going to meet me, you're going to be at least by the elevator or something, right? No. So I call him. He's like, where you at? He's like, I'm in the back by men's coat. So I'm walking. I'm seeing Laura Piana. I'm seeing this. I'm seeing Tom Ford. I still don't see nobody. He's like, where exactly are you? I was like, I'm in front of Tom Ford. He's like, I'm going to come get you. I'm like, okay. So I don't know where I left off, but he was like, oh, I'm coming to get you. So I'm feeling a little crazy now because I've been standing in front of Tom Ford for just a bit too long. And the sales associate, they coming up to me like, hey, you need help, da-da-da-da. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm just waiting for someone or whatever. So, y'all, I was like, you know what, Mona, go downstairs. This man will come get you. Stop standing in front of these people's stuff because you look crazy. You look sketchy as fuck. I was like, I'm a little ashy. I was like, all right, cool. As I'm heading, y'all, to the elevator, I pull out my phone to text him like, yo, I don't know where you at. I don't see you. I'm going to wait for you outside or downstairs. Before I pull out my phone to my messages, he texts me. He goes, "Yo, you really an asshole." Huh? So I'm like, what? I'm like, who are you talking to? Like, I'm so confused. He was like, yeah, fuck you, thought. He goes, I hate bitches like you. Always want something for nothing. Like, he goes, no, always wanting something for nothing ass bitches. Like, I don't like bitches like you. Going off. I'm like, have a good day, sir. Have a good day. Like, you're fucking insane. You thought you ate. You thought you lowered me into a store, a department store, and you thought you...
He literally did. He licked the plate. He lowered her into the part. I'm confused, but go ahead.
Made me look crazy.
He did.
I don't look crazy. I don't. I'm sorry. You look crazy, because it just taught me one thing. You have nothing really going for yourself. You're bored as hell, and you know how to approach women is with money, because you...
And so she talking about it, but oh my God, the only reason why she the same money. Am I tripping? I don't know.
You have nothing else to really show for it, or like, you're literally, like, you thought you ate, and then the whole day, y'all, as I'm leaving, he kept chastising me, like writing me crying emojis, like wham 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 wham. I'm like, bitch, I got bread in my pocket. I'm actually about to go meet with my homegirls, and we're going to have a few drinks, and we're gonna talk about this, and we're gonna just...
So she got rocked so much she needed to decompress and have a powwow conversation about it, because she was that emotionally disturbed about it.
Realize how much of a fucking weirdo you are. Oh my God, I'm mad at you. Don't mind this. How much of a, like, loser you really are. Like, men will really try to humble you. I feel like he tried to use this because, like, I never paid attention to him in the first place, and now it's like, oh, let me get back at her, because that's really what it was. Let me get back at her. And it's like, nothing happened. I went by my day. I had a few drinks with my girls. I had a ball. You didn't humble me. You didn't. And, like, I feel like any girl would have went on this free trip. Like, a free shopping? Like, what the fuck? Why not? You want to take me shopping? Bitch, I'm there. I'm gonna go grab my stuff. Like, what a corny ass nigga you are. Like, you're corny. Boo, 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 boo. Tomatoes. You didn't humble me. Like, nothing came out of this. Like, I just realized that you are a loser. And you probably did this to other women before, because, y'all, if I show you what this man looks like, he looks like a fucking thumb. A thumb. Like a fucking ogre. Shrek. You look like a thumb. You thought you ate, but you didn't. And nothing you ever say would ever embarrass somebody like me. Because, bitch, what? I work in a whole department store. I get these stuff on a regular. So, you didn't humble me, babe. You didn't. At all.
This whole thing was embarrassing. And the fact that she said that was even more embarrassing. Because she said humbled so many times. That's how you know she was humbled. Like, everything that she said about it. But yeah, I just think it's interesting. It was deep. You gotta read these vibes and know these red flags. Like, ladies, y'all gotta stop being like that. Like, fellas, if this has happened to you, let me know. I'm interested. Have you ever tried this? I think it should be an interesting challenge. I think stir the pot. Yeah, I'm gonna stir the pot. I feel like this should be an interesting challenge. I feel like dudes should actually try this and see what happens. See if the response is actually different than what they have been getting with, attempting to shoot their shot in DMs. I'm curious to see what happens. Yeah, ladies. Just tell them you're not interested and then go about it. But this was to fake like you're interested to get something out of it. Ooh, the games that are being played are getting very interesting. But all right, yep, this was part 2. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what y'all think. Let me know what y'all think about this. Yeah, he definitely humbled her ass. All right, I'll catch y'all.